Okay, cool. Here we are, born in the studio with Will Beasley again, and we're checking out What's an Hour Really Worth now. I mean, this is our second single. What are some of your thoughts about this song? I mean,
Yeah, this song's a really awesome one. I remember when the dudes were writing it, and a lot of times when we're writing a song, we'll put sort of like
a rule.
like a rule. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you have to do this. And so one thing with this one was we were saying, like, let's do no cymbals at all and the drum parts. And so that, I'm sure that was like a challenge for you, to try to come up with something really creative with no cymbals or anything.
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know. I honestly was like, I don't know how I feel about that idea at first, because we were just running like, it's not like no cymbals at all. It's like, because like I crash into the like different sections, like the going into the chorus and like going into the second verse or whatever. But then like the end is like where it gets super, super huge, and to resist using cymbals to like to build and everything is so difficult. So
yeah, and I think
fun.
yeah, and I think the thought process behind that, like, that kind of rule is like, how can we make it feel really big but not really noisy? And because the cymbals are very just shh, and it can get very, very ear piercing very fast. And so it's like, how do we make this really big lush sound, but it's still be like, you could be just sitting in the room right next to them, and it's like you get the same feeling of how it sounds, like, rather than it having to like do all this stuff in the recording to make the cymbals tame and everything like that, like. And yeah, and again, I just think it's a cool challenge. So drums, we used the DW kit, and we used the Black Beauty snare. And yeah, let's hear some of that. Starts off with this really cool groove. Yeah, and I just love the like stick click groove. That is so sick.
Yeah, I think when we started jamming this and like we were in the live room, I actually didn't really know what to do as far as drum parts go. But then like I distinctly remember somebody mentioning or like bringing up Alt J for some reason.
Oh yeah, well no, yeah, because we were talking about the no cymbal thing, and Alt J is like a band that I feel like they kind of do that in a lot of their songs. So it's like good to take, some reference from that,
Yeah, well, somebody said something about Alt J, and I'm not super familiar with Alt J. I don't know a lot of their music. I really only know one song, and then so as soon as somebody said that, I thought of the one song I knew, and that's what gave me the idea for the rim click part in like the verses and stuff, because I think the song's called Dead Crush, and like,
oh, it's a great song.
yeah, but it was okay. So that it's just that like it sounds like sandpaper or something, but that
I know
would
exactly
be like what the symbol. The track would
That's
be.
cool. I didn't even know that's where you got that idea from. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's got kind of that like push and pull feel. Like if I played what I'm playing on the rim here on just like loosely open hi-hats, it would probably sound like super similar to the Alt J song. But because I'm playing it on the rim, it sounds like way more distinct.
Yeah, no, dude, that is so sick. And I just feel like the click, like the rim clicks, it just automatically gives the part this unique, cool thing. I don't know, for me at least, when I hear a drum part with that, like my ears just automatically perk up where I'm like, ooh, that's different and cool. Like,
For
you know what
sure.
I mean? Like,
A hook.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's something I didn't even think about that, like Josh mentioned the other day, was like, oh, it kind of sounds like ticks of a clock, which is like on brand for the song theme. And I was like, that's cool.
Hey, yeah,
But
that
also-
is a cool, yeah,
it's also
that's
unintentional,
really
but-
I
cool.
love that.
It's sick.
And yeah,
yeah,
dude,
the bridge really takes a turn.
yeah, I like how you know, you're just kind of grooving throughout here. The second verse, you have some,
Dude,
Get some toms
what's funny
going,
is
that's
I actually like I mean, it's not technically a mistake, but to myself,
oh, how it skips here a little bit.
to
I kind of
myself,
like that.
knowing
yeah.
what I would do, like that's like something that slipped through. How I paused right there, I would definitely like fill that space with notes. And when we were practicing it yesterday, I was doing the same, but.
Yeah, such a groove, such a cool groove. And then yeah, this outro, I just love it's like the accents that you chose are, I mean, I don't even know if that was intentional or not, but it's like you just can't, my brain would love to like know what accents you're gonna do, and you just surprise where it's gonna be at every single time. It's so
Well,
it's
that
so
kind of
sick.
comes from like the limitations of the no cymbals, because it's like, okay, if I have to try to like make this build and evolve as it goes on, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to do different things with every pass that are like more intense and more like intricate or busy or whatever.
It's like movie soundtrack shit. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then when we get to this last one right here, I love that it just keeps, it doesn't change, it just hangs. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, right there.
Like, I love that so much.
Some Hans Zimmer shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even realize you did that. That's cool to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like your part there towards the end is just full of surprises.
Yeah.
Full
hell
of
yeah.
surprises. And sick, yeah, we can check out I mean, this is probably the identity of the song is this guitar riff in the intro.
It is the big talking point. The big talking point is, what is the guitar and what's the amp? I mean, like, it is just
So I want to
so
say this
clean and
is,
beautiful.
yeah, again, like this guitar part I feel like is the identity of the song. I imagine this is what started the song idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And yeah, I think for me, like tone wise, I don't know, I love like, you know, like a single coil sound, and you know, kind of a la Red Hot Chili Peppers sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just really making this guitar part have its own identity, its own character, and it just like stands out.
I've had a bunch of guitarist friends reach out and be like, do that tone.
It's so sick. But yeah, I mean, I think that like, I feel like a lot of people want to add like a lot of reverb and all this stuff to, you know, where they're like, oh, let's make it big and huge. And for me, I kind of think the opposite, where it's like, when it's really dry and in your face, to me, that makes it stand out a lot more. And so that was kind of the thought process here. Yeah, it was
It's like,
just
again, like creativity through limitations.
Yep, yeah, and it's, so this is a Strat through the JMP. And yeah, there's no post-processing or anything on it.
I love that it's the JMP too, because you turn the gain way down. Normally, I feel like we lean towards the Vox on that.
Yeah,
But
no, totally.
But the JMP just sounded. I remember being surprised by that. Like, oh, it sounds so much.
And you're
better.
looking at your EQ. No EQ.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, is there an EQ on it? But yeah, no, I put one on there, but yeah, I guess I didn't do anything
Wow.
with it. So yeah, I mean, just getting it at the source, that's the key, you know, that's
Yeah, play a
what we
little bit
shoot
of
for
that.
all the
Play
time,
for
yeah.
those people. That is nice.
Josh coming in with the swells.
I think that's from the demo as well.
Yeah.
I was just kind of making some.
Oh, that's cool with your twinkly pedal.
Yeah, I was just doing volume swells and kind of.
And I probably just pasted. I think I just heard that.
What makes that so twinkly though? There's not a pedal.
Yeah, I'm using a Hall of Fame reverb, and then I was just kind of like making the shimmer go a little longer, and then just doing a volume swell, like plucking it first and then swelling after, just to give some atmospheric.
Yeah, totally.
That's really cool.
Like when the vocal comes in with those two things coming in at the same time, it really does add some atmosphere. It kind of just like circles around the vocal, you know? Yeah, and then... We're all just slowly gonna die here. So what's an hour really worth? Hey, and I'm just gonna toot you guys' horn on the songwriting here. I feel like where you place the vocal is so, that's just such a great, it's just an automatic call and response between the guitar and the vocal, you know, you're putting it in the
each holding its space.
You know what I mean? It's like you guys are talking to each other.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool, just finding the space, yeah. We're all just slowly gonna die here.
And is that like some wild panning? Is it moving or something?
Yeah, it's panning back and forth.
That's cool.
And that part, I think I tuned the high E down to a D to like have it in key of the song so I could get like a droney sound.
It's a different tuning.
Yeah, it's like standard tuning, but a D for the high E.
Oh, that's
just to
cool.
Get that droney D, which is like the tonic of the song.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, and do you remember why you panned it? I mean, were you like, man, it's just, I would love it floating. Where was your head with that? I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I just kind of like it being just somewhere in the ether. It's like you can't quite grab it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I feel like when you listen with the whole mix, it's kind of like, what is that? And that's kind of how I wanted it to feel. It's just like this thing just kind of buzzing around back there. You know what I mean? Just creating atmosphere. Because again, the guitars are the guitar and the vocal are so forefront. Like,
it's less of a guitar part and more like,
yeah, it's almost, yeah,
I feel
totally.
like the other part
Texture.
is so distinctive, and it's like that's the focus. This needs to like melt in and kind of just exist in the same space.
I like that. And all the same amps. I mean, is this still you're not switching it up at all?
This is probably the Vox.
That's the Vox.
Yeah.
And that's my Telly, American Ultra Telly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how this, just with this lyric right here, we're all just slowly gonna die here, and then it just kicks in. Like, that is a moment. That's some emotion right there, you know? We're all just slowly gonna die here. So what's an hour really worth? Take the road you've never been down. Bass guitar holding it down.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we were talking about how you really got, the bass tone. So when we were doing the tracks, we were like, man, it's pretty trebly. Like, you really know how to scoop out a good piece. Like, it's got that grit, the bass tone and everything.
Yeah, no,
is
totally,
that the amp? Do you know if that's the amp or?
Yeah, that's well, I use the amp sim for the bass, but yeah, that's all just coming from.
Yeah, that's not the wildest.
And the Sansa.
Yeah, Will's been using. He's like fucked the amp lately, or at least on this album a lot. The plug-in does it all. The DI and is there a reason behind that? Say again, like a good explanation of that.
I just like the control that I have over it and how I can make it more or less gritty, throughout the mix process, and throughout when I have a more clear picture of what everything else is sounding like, it's just a lot of flexibility and also I just like that I can control it, and the smoothness of the low end with the plugin is just so good to me.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, and this song really throws it back to me, like, I think lineage wise, it really reminds me of our old song Reach for the Sun, you know, been in a cup, you know, like the way it rolls, like it has like this turning around thing about it, which also like the Death Cab song Kath, you know, Kath, she stands with a well-intentioned man. Like it's very similar to this song, very good lineage there, like I think in a lot of ways. But yeah, the bass really drives it out. It pulls it out of like just the I'm guitar, I'm gonna sit ring, you know, it's like the guitar's trying to weigh it down, and the bass is like, I'm not having that today. Like it is the push and pull of all these things kind of.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, because you need you kind of need, everything else is very like kind of floating around. Like even Christian's drums are pretty like going. You know what I mean? They're like. Yeah. Like it's got a really nice groove to it, and the bass is really holding it down because the guitars are doing something totally different than that. This guitar is doing something totally different than that. Yeah, and like so yeah, the bass is just like the anchor. Like
yeah, I feel like there was a lot of that on this record where we're like, let's like let drums and bass kind of have the driving approach instead of like just guitars always going like everything always going at 10. It's like let's let the rhythm tracks drive it. And then find other spaces we can live in and experiment with. I feel like a lot of that kind of showed up on the record.
Totally, yeah. And just like everyone kind of, there's not a lot of times where everybody's playing the same thing. Like, yeah. And I think that that's a really cool way to create separation and to give everyone their own voice within the song, and just create the characters in the song. Like having everybody be able to stand on their own. And I think that's really cool because when you have like a lot of things just like doing the same part, you know, it just kind of can get a little muddy and a little, I don't know, things just don't stand on their own as well to me.
Yeah, it's a mixer's dream, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. It kind of like just mixes itself when you do that. Yeah, moving on, we got the chorus.
Yeah, so isolate the guitars.
What'd you say?
Isolate all the guitars. It's just like
yeah.
Like what is going on there? Yeah, I'd love to hear what that.
Yeah, so left side guitar. Got some chords going.
It's beautiful.
Right side guitar.
Wow, that's really cool to hear isolated, yeah. And then back in it, yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Dude. Josh is pretty good. He's pretty good at what he does.
I have my moments.
No comment. I have my moments.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I mean, yeah, rhythmically things start to get a little more straight here, you know, with the eighth notes. And I think again, as the whole picture, it's the vocal starts getting a little more complicated and a little more complex in the melody. There's not as much space, and so I think that's where you kind of have to, you've got to make the canvas and make the spotlight shine as bright as you can, you know. And so here I really feel like the vocals are the spotlight with that melody just so fucking catchy. Like
yeah, and I was talking to you kind of about
another line, another drink, we never
harmonize the whole thing.
We'll be chasing it always. Dive into another night, another store, another wish we'll never find, 'cause we'll be chasing it always. We'll be chasing it always.
Yeah, and I remember talking to you the other day when I was drunk about the lineage of this melody. I mean, it's, you know, the melodies come from all over the place, but I mean, like, there's an old Wilson Phillips song that, like, kind of touches on that, and then Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway, you know, like, you know, the, like, I spread my wings, make a wish, take a chance, make a change. And then even The Dangerous Summer has a song where it's like, what's the old Golden Record song? I forget what it's called. Not Mile High, what's it called? I don't remember.
Miles apart.
Miles apart,
Yeah.
you know, where I'm like, how does that song go? I forget how the song goes.
In the front.
Yeah, when I woke, you were there,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
over. Like, you know, it's kind of like one of those classic kind of main frames of a melody. There's so many of those in the world where it's like, does it come from like some folk thing? Like, it just has lived in the universe, and many people have taken the shape of what that is.
cadence.
The cadence, yeah. Like, and so you can find many ways to kind of mold these.
It's very
different
rhythmic.
cadences.
It's like
Yeah, it's
it's
super
it's
rhythmic.
less like based on the melody and more just like
It's
the
listing.
rhythm.
Yeah.
It's listing. You're
Yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
listing.
It's almost like rapping. It's
That's,
like
that's how we
hip-hop,
get
Yeah, you're like
groceries.
bullet
we
pointing.
sing
Yeah.
our grocery list like that too.
Yeah.
milk, eggs. It's over.
And it's normally another drink, another.
I like that. Yeah,
A bag of bread, a box of eggs.
I like it. Yeah. And I did kind of love that. Like, I was like, man, this is gonna be like the mainstream kind of song, like Jimmy World or something. But just saying another line, you know, it's almost like Third Eye Blind throwing crystal meth with you
Yeah.
until you just throw a little drug reference in, like a very mainstream idea, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Just so the kids know one day.
Third
No, I'm
Eye
just kidding.
Blind always said, "Pretty little songs with dirty little words." I like that.
Oh damn! That is.
hard.
It sounds like they'd say
hard.
that.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
But yeah, sick. And then going into the second verse, just straight in. You can see actually with my markers here, it didn't go straight in at one point. Obviously, there was a little interlude, but
Yeah,
So
we had a
must have
moment
cut- we
where we
must have
thought
cut something,
maybe,
yeah.
Which I kind of think we should play live.
I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
Like do the intro.
yeah, it probably just went back to the riff with no vocals. Yeah,
Well, it really highlighted that one guitar part that was like.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And wasn't the bridge longer too? Like
That was like the
Probably.
guitar
we
Yeah.
also had a longer bridge, and that's the thing is I think we just looked at it and we're like, this is a long fucking song. Because what is it right now? Like this is.
yeah. Now it's about like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, because I think we extended both those parts. We even had a part where, you know, when the guitar part came down the bridge, we were like, okay, let's wait. Let's not start the vocals yet.
Yeah.
But then we're like, let's just trim the fat. You know, like let's push it all closer together because, yeah, like, you know, hey, fuck it. Let's cut it up a little bit. you
Yeah,
know?
nothing overstays its welcome.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think
I like that. I like
it's,
get to the point.
It's
you
a
know?
very long first verse, and the chorus is kind of long relatively, you know, like it because it goes twice, yeah.
We'll be chasing it always. So never stare into the coming few and try to find out what's inside of you. There's comfort knowing the answers are through the doorway. Let's get
Sick fill right there.
It's so funny because I didn't mean to do that.
I hope you find it. I hope you find it. So here's to another fire, another light, another drink. Well, never mind, 'cause we'll be chasing it always. We'll be chasing it always. Dive into another night, another storm, another wish. We'll never find, 'cause we'll be chasing it always. We'll be chasing it always. Lines go by, we don't wanna crash into the night like the lines.
Yeah, the round singing, we got the round singing going on.
Yep.
Which we're learning to play it live. And we're like, okay, how do we do this? So we finally started kind of figuring out how we're gonna do it live. I
Gotta
do a
get your
lot of
boys
that
on
on
some
this
background
album.
vocals.
The double vocals, one over the other, like, because I'm just like, oh, that's a cool bridge, but like, what if there's another melody? You know, it's like it's kind of, you know, maybe from an insecurity standpoint, I need more here, you know, or something like that. You know, so lots of.
No, I mean, I like that
overlapping
when there's
vocals.
double, like, it's just like how the rim clicks, at least for me, it's always very, like, ooh, my ears perk up. When I hear the, like, round, the double vocal, it's just, like, automatically every time I'm always like, oh, like,
Yeah,
my chest lifts a little bit. I'm like, oh man, this is nice.
it's like bonus
you know?
earworms, like
Yeah.
Totally,
coming
yeah.
in and out.
And I think one of the most interesting things is that we change the progression. We're in the bridge, and then we start singing the chorus of it. So it's an altered chorus.
Yep.
Progression wise, which, you know, like I feel like you do a lot of it when you're young. Like, what if we put the chorus over this other progression? It's like, you know, it's one of those creative tricks that can work or it can't work, but it's fun to try. And when it works, it's like, oh wow, there is another chorus. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't just a 2-chorus song. We bring the chorus back in another main frame with, you know, the bridge melody rocking over it. I thought it was pretty creative, but we didn't think too hard about that. I don't think, you know, it just kind of
happened
that way.
yeah. So then this
The lives go by. We don't wanna.
I love the swells too. The swells, yeah.
and this is just from the
demo.
This is from the demo, yeah, when they were all jamming it live.
Yeah, from there out.
Yeah,
it's all,
just
like,
yeah,
my
just something
improvised live take.
Yeah,
from
something
just-
something happened. It's like you really can't recreate the vibe that happened while you guys were just in the moment, like doing it. And so it's like, why try to, you know, just keep
I
it.
think it's because we were playing together, and it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't have anything solidified, and so it's just like, this feels good. This feels, you know, it's like something happens
Totally.
when you know, everyone jams together. And,
The lives go by. We don't wanna crash into the night like another fire, another light, another drink. But never mind, it's what we're chasing it always. It's what we're chasing it always. Dive into another night, another store, another wish. We'll never find. It's what we're chasing it always. What we're chasing it always. So here's to another fire, another light, another drink. But never mind, it's what we're chasing it always. What we're chasing it always. Dive into another night, another store, another wish. We'll never find. It's what we're chasing it always. What we're chasing it always. Mind the roses on the lawn. I pass them on the highway.
Yeah, and then bringing that lyric back for just a second. Yeah.
just the bookend. Yeah,
I
it's
do
cool.
feel like I've been doing it a lot since producing with you. You always have that good recommendation ever since the EP. Like, I think we did it once or twice in the EP, and I was like, that is always a good way. Hey, let's bring it back. It's kind of like if we were playing Use Somebody. It's like that Use Somebody where it's like,
Oh, yeah,
I've
true,
been
they do.
roaming around, always looking. You know, like kind of reiterate what you started with. Reiterate a feeling.
Yeah.
it's
It's the
like
book.
driving
It's the
home
bookend.
mission
Yeah.
statement.